Suburbia, the 1983 movie from Penelope Spheeris and released by 101 Films, is one of those movies that is really rough. And it fits the kind of aesthetic of the movie. It fits the story that we're hearing here, because this is a story about misunderstood youth. People who are struggling to find their way in society in the early 80s, latching on to the punk movement as something that's a little bit different, out with the norm, and kind of much maligned as well. And we follow these group of characters at the start who just kind of try to group together to find friends with like-minded values.
Get up. You need a lift home?
I can't go home.
Can't sleep on the grass. The snails will crawl on your face. Come on.
Who come together and kind of squat in this house, just spending day to day enjoying each other's companies. Sometimes they have to go and do bad things to kind of make ends meet, to get some money, to get some food. They have to do these type of things. They're the kind of people that don't really want to interact with the rest of kind of mainstream society. And that's the kind of thing that the movie delivers really well. You have these, some actors, some non-actors doing these roles, and some of their performances are really good, some of them are stilted, but it kind of, again, it all comes together as it creates a mood of these characters in the early 80s. And I kind of like this one as it starts to delve into the kind of social issues that these people are dealing with. A lot of these kids have trauma in their past.
Victims 23 miles away from
Wow.
20 megaton explosion standing in the open.
My dad used to beat me all the time.
Charred skin on parts of the body.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
A nuclear
Whether it be with parents, whether it be with abuse, whether it be with the law, they've all kind of had these extraneous events that have kind of forced them out of their family life, out of their comfort zone, to create a new family. Misunderstood youth trying to come to terms with a modern world that doesn't really want them and doesn't really suit them. And it's delivered really well. It's a movie that is very little in plot, but got a lot to do with story. You know, it really takes these characters, it takes all these people, putting them in the house, showing them how they interact, how they become one with each other, how they kind of help each other and try to deal with their traumas that they've had, and sometimes overcome them, sometimes they don't. And you see these the people, because they look different, because they act different, because they feel different to the world, how they're treated.
This guy's begging for it.
And maligned when they're outside in society as well. Whether it be some strange sequences that we see where they're picked up on by a couple of guys just because they look different, whether people look at them strangely because of the way they're dressed.
Hey, clear out of here. No loitering allowed.
Because of just general prejudice, how people are violent towards them. And it's all not one-sided as I thought it was going to be. You do get to see the bad side of this community as well. There's a moment they're at a concert where a woman is kind of abused in front of everybody and nobody's really helping. You know, it shows that these people aren't all similar to the group of kids that we're following. But it gives you this wonderful insight into kind of time, a place, a feeling, a mood, and you really understand how these kids are struggling to deal with a lot of their day-to-day stuff. I think the performances, like I said, are up and down. Some are better than others, some people have had a longer career, some are just fun, like Flea's character in particular, who's always playing around with his rat. It's not a euphemism. Who just kind of lights up the screen sometimes when he's on it. Other times when he's given a wee bit more dialogue to do, he's a little bit stilted and a little bit too trying to remember his lines almost. But some of the characters, like I said, are great. Some of them aren't so great. I just liked spending time with this makeshift family. I loved spending time with them just hanging out. It was upsetting to see the way they were kind of maligned, pushed aside, forgotten part of society because they didn't conform to the norms that were going on, and I think it's delivered really well. It's a kind of rough and ready movie at 94 minutes. Like I said, it's not big on plot, it has a lot to say in story, it has some tropey moments, and it has some moments of just infuriating anger because of...
This is what you might call a warning. If there's any more trouble from you creeps, some heads are gonna roll.
You filthy whore!
Well, particularly there's two kind of guys that feel as if they're gung-ho and should be policing these kids because they just don't like them and they keep misconstruing all the events that go on. Definitely worth checking out. This is a kind of hard movie to discuss because it's more about a feeling, a mood, and putting you in a time and place rather than really a plot to drive the movie forward. But I think it's incredibly well directed. I think it's okay acted. I think it's really fun and one you should definitely check out. I'd love to know your thoughts on Suburbia. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.